I just had the pleasure of attending the 10th annual Great Canadian Rust Junkie Fest last weekend, and I just got back to Maine a couple days ago and have been sifting through the footage, and I wanted to make a quick video talking about my time there and some of the things I got to see and experience. So what you're seeing now is one of the shops that the host, Jack Forsberg, has. If you don't know who Jack Forsberg is, he is a master craftsman who creates beautiful woodworking. And he's been in the game for much longer than I've been alive, personally. He refinishes and restores the craziest old machinery. He uses brass and all sorts of crazy exotic woods to turn these old rust buckets into beautiful pieces of machinery. One of these shops that he has on his property is known as the Wadkin Temple, named after his most favorite tool company, Wadkin. The history of Wadkin is pretty interesting and can kind of be long, so I won't get into that here, but I definitely recommend looking it up, or better yet, attending Rustfest next year and listen to Jack talk about his tools. I mean, just look at the size of this jointer planer. This tool is a massive disc sander, and last year they timed it and it took 45 minutes to wind down from full speed. Along with Jack hosting demos of all of his old tools, there are other skilled demonstrators strewn about the property showing their artistry of their respective trades. There were forgers, leather workers, Japanese hand tool experts, and Brandon from Cross and Miter was there. They were all scattered about the event all day, demonstrating and interacting with visitors. I swear you could walk into Jack's shops 100 times in a day and see something new each time. Just like this little upstairs of the Wadkin Temple, where he hosts a 8x4 vacuum table and a bunch of other crazy cast iron machinery. Let alone the piles of tools in the corner that were just stacked away, not being used.
This is how they put brakes on in the fencing. There's a special switch gear built into this. You press stop and then put it in reverse and it feeds the thing and then you go start again.
It'll bring a full cutter block to it. Yeah, it's illegal now. They call it a certain type. They're not allowed. Plugging a motor, they call that. They don't let you do that anymore.
Basically, the transfer reverse, so it just leaves it down.
Yeah, you're switching the polarity. And you're just the motor's trying to go one way, and it's just the magnets are going no.
Check out this old shingle cutter that was being demonstrated.
So far. Our first shingle. Oh, shut up, boo. Yes, sir. So normally you'd have an edging saw with this thing that would cut the bark and all the nonsense off of one side. This is a pretty rough one. There's all kinds of knots. No real good, but it's a shingle nonetheless. Not bad at all.
There was a great selection of forgers there, crafting live at the event, as well as showing off some of their work, including the spearhead and chainmail.
24 pounds. 24 pounds.
Brandon from Cross and Miter was here demonstrating the Panto router, and if you went up and cut a mortise or tenon, he gave you a free sample of Sutherland Wells finish.
Right? Or in the inside, that will create the mating mortise. So like you can create the mortise and tenon in one step with one piece, and just like through half, whatever you need it to be, whatever size, whatever shapes. If you need multiple mortises for whatever piece of joinery, and you just can like rinse and repeat, like really quickly match out these things and mate them so that they're like perfectly flush. You know, instead of like dominoing everything. And I just need you to say that one time on camera, and it's yours.
Slicky Wicky Witch's Wax.
Woohoo! There you go. It's so easy. It's as easy as using the Panto router.
And of course we had Andrew Wren here pulling some crazy thin plane shavings off of his Japanese hand planes. These shavings were so thin, and he told me they were still 3 times thicker than what he pulls in competition. Overall, the event was a blast, and if you have any interest in joining next year, it's usually the weekend after July 4th. This year it was the weekend after that weekend, so mark something on your calendars to remind you. But this event is hosted just outside of Ottawa, Canada, and it really is an awesome event hosted by an awesome maker. So thanks to Jack for hosting this event and opening his doors for us all to come and enjoy his space. And until next year.
Because then when it gets dust on it, you just wipe it off.